Are you ready to do your duty for Rome?
Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldGames. Today we are starting a new campaign in Rome Total War, namely in Imperium Surrectum mod. And this is actually my first time playing this, not taking into account perhaps half an hour of testing so that I don't just blunder everything at the beginning. So, since Rome is my favorite faction, I think we will be taking it, even though it is estimated to be easy. But of course we will take both very hard difficulties here. And it seems we need to hold 100 settlements. And, well, it will be a thing to make sure that I actually find all of those on the battle map at some point. But without further ado, let's begin the campaign.
Caesar shall do all that Rome requires.
Gods. I hate Gauls. My grandfather hated them too. Even before they put out his eyes. Did you think I'd be out here on the frontier without good reason?
I guess this is the same introduction
Rome
cinematic
needs a strong frontier.
as in the
No. Rome doesn't
original
need
Rome
unwashed
Total War
barbarians
Remastered.
at her gates. So, that's why I'm here.
So, I think we can skip it. So it seems in this mod there are quite a few more settlements and areas in the compared to the vanilla version, and the unit costs are significantly higher, especially the upkeep costs. So we need to be careful with our army, and also a majority of the buildings have an upkeep cost, namely that building something reduces tax income. And it seems there are two main sources of income, namely trade and taxes, and it seems at least to a degree these two kind of balance or are mutually exclusive. So we should focus on either of those. So let's see, we have Rome here and let's see our army. So we have some Hastatis, Principes, Triarii, and as you can see the upkeep cost is just staggering for example Triarii. And as you can see the defense values are really high here, so the battles most likely will last quite long. So let's see, if we raise taxes in Rome we will get a couple of hundred more. So basically it means that, and let's see what we can actually recruit there. So the cheapest unit has an upkeep of 700. Oh, 500. Okay. So it's better to lower taxes about 2 or 3 levels instead of adding 1 unit as a garrison. So that's a significant difference regarding the playstyle compared to the vanilla version. So that most definitely needs to be taken into account. And it seems the mod is quite heavy.
A most generous proposal.
And it seems our financial situation is actually rather bad. So let's see if we could get some more money by trading
Would you
the world
consider?
map. Okay,
Our thanks.
apparently we can. And let's continue northwards. And of course it's rather... Oh, I hope nothing crashed. So I guess these are actually the settlements we need to capture. And or I'm not certain. Perhaps they are. And it seems Massalia is our ally, and there are quite a few settlements in Italy. So our first step is to secure the Italian mainland, or at least the part of it that we control at the moment. So we need to take Volsini, and perhaps there are some other. I guess there is one rebel settlement there. We can actually send a spy to look that out. Yeah, Regium. And it seems we have some fleets, which luckily are not just expensive as the ground troops. But I think Messana will make a fine target rather soon. So basically what we need to do now is to get our troops at work. And I guess Velites and those hoplites are the Lucanian infantry, are basically the only ones which we will left to guard a settlement. Perhaps a general actually. Let's see. Can we see somewhere the upkeep cost of the bodyguard? Okay. So basically we can leave a governor in place. So in Arretium, I think these two units will move, and we will besiege Volsini with the troops from here. And at the same time, I think we will raise taxes as much as we can. So basically, I think the... Oh, there is enemy town there as well. So basically, I think the only reason to leave a proper garrison is to make sure that enemy does not strike at us. And there seems to be a rebel town as well. But I'm a bit cautious to leave a city completely undefended, so I think some troops will need to be taken to the front in any case. And now we would like to have a general to take charge of the army. Perhaps I was a bit too hasty with some of the troop movements. Okay, from Capua, that's rather decent governor. And it seems there is cultural things at play as well. And they have to do with religion. So this is mainly Greek city, which should be converting to Italic, and that should help us at some point. Unfortunately, it seems quite a few of our generals are rather old. So 3 command points, this guy has only 2. This guy has 2 as well. So I think we can send these troops south here. Lucius Cornelius Scipii. Perhaps he will take charge of the army up north, even though he has only 2 command points. And do we have a decent commander here? Only 2 points, so I think we will send this guy to take charge of the southern army. Mars can do with what it has. And in Croton, well, I guess that guy can keep the population there in check. And that's Factionaire. Actually, I'm just wondering, should we try to get him better? Perhaps we should. So basically, we will begin the siege.
Besieging settlement, sir. Settlement under siege, sir. Forward.
And we can take some reinforcements next turn.
Forward. Onward.
And perhaps assault it right away. And since we are losing quite a bit of money, I think we should try to make some improvements. So, here you can see trade is being increased while there will be a tax penalty. So, Rome is having quite a decent amount of trade, so we should most definitely improve that here. And then here we could build roads, which of course improve movement, but there will be some improved trade as well. So the roads increase trade, lower taxes quite a bit, but I think we want to have our road network in order. And then let's see about these bigger cities first. Okay, here we need to lower taxes a bit. So we could convert this and elite tax. Let's see. So 500 per turn. I'm just wondering, is it affected by the tax penalties? But if not, I think it will work rather well. But let's not put all the eggs to one basket, because it might very well backfire. Here, I don't think that's a good option. Perhaps, well, that's neither. We have relatively little trade, at least at some places. Okay, so here it might be worthwhile to make some trade improvements. This might actually be rather nice. Of course, those roads are quite expensive. And of course, farms will increase some income there. Is it actually better? About 100, and here... Yeah, I think we will go with the farms. Of course, by the way, we won't be going with the farms, because most likely we will need that trade at some point there. Perhaps roads here might be a good choice, or perhaps not. Vineyard, not really good. Then we have the opportunity for that elite tax. What about trader at RP. Okay, I guess fair enough. Estonium. Trader. Yeah, not. And Aternum. No. Coffinium. I guess there is quite a little of anything. So perhaps we could make something in... Well, we are already building in Rome. Cosa. Perhaps trader, not good. Communal farming, not too good. Perhaps we need to connect the frontier cities with the road network. And Arretium here. Perhaps the ports would be rather nice, combined with the trader at some point. And let's make roads here as well, even though it's not financially so good choice. So I think we have a turn. Let's see what happens. And actually, in terms of battles, I think losing troops is not too bad of a thing because of their high upkeep. So we can accept some casualties in order to balance the finances of the empire. Free peoples. I get the idea of free peoples of Middle Earth from that, but I guess that's not intentional there.
Sir! Imperator! Orders! Daryl! Orders! Move out! Daryl!
And we actually begin the siege there already.
Urging army.
So actually, what kind of walls do they have? Stone walls, okay. That does not make things at least easier. And as you can see, we are having quite a deficit here, so we have quite a lot to do before we can actually break even. And perhaps we need to maintain the siege for one more turn. And yeah, and I guess this diplomat would continue to move. Perhaps we could get a trade agreement with some Greeks. I think in the campaign map movement animations it can be seen that the mod makes the game quite heavy because there is certain sluggishness in the unit movements and so on. So finally we have our troops gathered in here, and I think we want to have at least 2 siege towers before we assault the city here. There is quite decent defense, and we have a new General, I think he can join forces there. Or perhaps we should actually send him to... to Valerie and get those troops to join the army there. And it's time for the first battle, so we need to face 2 Lucanian infantry units, 1 Samnite Hoplite unit, company and cavalry, and General's bodyguard.
The time for half measures and talk is over, Senator.
So, let's see how the battle is going to play out.
At the siege tower! Fire at will! Siege tower! Fire at will! Quickly! Siege tower! Quickly! At the fire at will! Ladders! Ladders! At the
Strength and honor.
run! Units! Units! Double time!
Okay, so the siege tower is already firing, and it's not receiving any fire from the enemies. And there seems to be quite a lot of ammunition with it, so
Siege tower!
let's move a bit forwards. Perhaps this tower can open fire as well, and this too.
Move!
And let's hope, yeah, that no enemies are firing back.
Orders completed!
The not so good thing is that it seems that we are not inflicting any casualties on the enemies here. So perhaps we should just go.
Move to the wall! Move to the wall! Ladders! Move to the wall! Ladders! To the walls! Siege!
Okay, so we can have only
To the walls! Siege tower! To the walls! To the walls!
one ladder or
Walls!
equal to the one wall section.
To the walls! Siege tower! Ram! Attack the gate!
And still no casualties, so basically it seems that firing those arrows from siege tower is not that efficient. Perhaps we inflicted one casualty. Okay, so once they turn their backs, those towers can actually achieve something. So, 3 casualties inflicted.
This is a step on the path
About
to
900
victory.
to go.
The towers are at the walls.
And at the same time, we are taking some casualties here.
Climb the tower! Move up! Move! Triarii!
And it seems every casualty we receive is about
Our ladders are at the walls. Now bravery and steel
4
will be
denarii
tested
per
as our men
turn
fight over the defenses.
from the upkeep.
Infantry! Heave the ladders!
Great gods! Our
Okay,
soldiers have
so
done well
we
this
are having
day.
a battle
Our
here.
walls are taken.
3 actually principes facing Lucanian infantry, and actually it seems they are doing rather okay despite them using ladders only. So let's actually take this tower of the... Oh, it's actually ours already. So let's move to help the other unit. I think that battle there will go quite well, at least eventually. And here we have Hastati, and it seems they are not doing quite as well as the Principes. Of course, that's to be expected. So let's send these Triarii to help and take the towers and the gateways. Okay, so now we have these walls almost completely to us, and I guess it means that we can move in. And let's see what's happening here. So the Lucanian infantry is taking a beating. They're doing quite okay, and the Samnite hoplites. I don't actually know how the battle is going on here. I think the Principes with their swords should be able to beat the hoplites with their spears on the walls, so I think we should be doing okay here. Especially since we can attack them from two directions. And here the Hastati have gained the upper hand with the help of the Triarii. So we should be doing rather okay there. And what about my... Okay. They decided to take it easily. So let's see if any enemy cavalry will react. It's entering the city's the gates. So there are 2 enemy cavalry units there, but there should be an additional cavalry unit somewhere. Okay, there. Just wondering, are these spearmen quite enough to take on that cavalry unit? Well, let's hope so. And let's bring in our own cavalry and the generals, just in case. So it seems the enemy cavalry is withdrawing, at least for the moment. And perhaps we can wait a bit for the battle at the walls to be finished. Then again, perhaps we should bring these troops forwards. And let's take this unit of Principes with us. Oh, what's happening? Okay, so these Hastati are taking a bit of a beating there. And where are our Principes? And it seems the enemy cavalry has decided to attack us. Velites, let's hope they can get some decent shots off. Perhaps we should actually send these equites to try to circle around the enemy and hit them in the back. So this far it seems the spear infantry is doing rather okay. Since those company and cavalries have leopard hide saddles there. But it seems our casualties are rather limited, especially compared to that of the enemies here. So perhaps that front will hold rather well. And you guys could start firing as well. And let's see what's... okay. Apparently that's a bit difficult for the cavalry to manage, and here on the walls those sunlight hoplites are holding their own rather well. Of course, I think the battle will be decided on this front, since when we get to the city center, I doubt the enemy will have too much to do to drive us off. So the company and cavalries, and it seems also the general, are taking quite a beating on this side, so let's see if we could throw a couple of pillar there. Well, I guess one is better than nothing.
Be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
Okay, good. So basically, let's just move in to take the city center, and the enemies can fight on the walls how much they like. But the battle will end nonetheless in our victory. So, one city captured. I guess something like 70 or 80 to go. Let's actually have a bit of a look at the fight here. Okay, we didn't have too much of a look there. So we have clear victory, and some casualties were healed, but at least these Hastati and Principes here and Lucanian infantry here took quite a beating in the battle. But I guess that's okay. So I think we have our fleet in position. We can soon cross the sea to Sicily to take Massilia, or at least start sieging it. I think these loading times are a bit longer than in the vanilla version. Of course, there is quite a bit more content in the map as well. So... I'm not convinced what I should do. Yep, I will just occupy it. And let's bring in the fleet here. And actually now the question is... Perhaps we should actually begin the siege of Messana right away. So the garrison is providing 80% public order bonus.
Your Honor, looking for spies.
But at the same time, I think
General, orders. Aye, aye,
with
Captain.
lowering taxes we can keep the city rather nicely under our control, at least for now,
Fleet ready.
and we can move against Messana.
Sir.
Your Honor, leaving the army.
So quite a bit more heavily defended.
Orders. Engage the enemy.
So I think it will
Besieging
fall
settlement, sir.
nonetheless.
Settlement
Perhaps we
under
will
siege,
try to
sir.
starve it out in this case. And here the siege will take at least one more turn
Siege, sir.
before we will move against the city. Oh, and I forgot about my diplomat. So, now we are doing losses of only 7,000 denarii per turn. This is kind of reminding me of the barbarian invasion as Western Roman Empire, when the financial situation is just wrecked at the beginning of the game, and it's rather difficult to balance out even later, but yep, we can do that. I think family members are rather good. Let's see. So he's in Rome. He can go to join. Actually, perhaps we should send him to govern some of the cities, at least at some point. But perhaps we will reinforce the army there
Orders.
with him. And I think next turn we are ready to attack Volsini. I guess the garrison is rather similar to that of the city we captured last time, Regium. And here we have Syracusan military. That might actually become problematic for us. Of course, Syracuse does not even... Oh, I thought it doesn't have walls, but I guess it does have walls. Perhaps there is some kind of bug in the city image, because I really thought no walls, but I stand corrected. And I guess the unrest has abated a bit, but we cannot really raise taxes there. And in Neapoli, perhaps we should lower taxes. Yeah, inactive settlements, true, but what can we actually do? Oh, and we have some reinforcements coming. Good. I think I could try to auto-resolve battles at some point, but if the army gets destroyed rather easily, or rather takes heavy losses with the auto-resolve, I think the game, this campaign, might get wrecked quite badly. So I will need to wait a bit longer before starting to auto-resolve. And our financial situation improved quite a lot actually, which is interesting. Well, I don't complain if we make 2,500 more money per turn.
General!
And I think we need to assault this city. And perhaps with the capture of this city we could actually make, and with the losses to the army we could actually make perhaps 1,500 denarii more per turn. So I guess after capturing this settlement and 2 more we might begin to break even. And of course, in order to start making profit, it will take, I guess, about 20 to 30 turns before we can start making investments. So we still need to continue pushing with the armies we have. And fortunately we have some
The auspices have been taken.
rebel
and
settlements
gods be
nearby.
praised. Nothing can be found to deny us victory today. With such
Oh,
portents, we need only
not a
march
nice
upon the
weapon to
enemy.
attack.
Do not
I
fear
guess
these rebel slaves.
that's fair enough. Oh, and it's rather nice that there are trees right next to the settlement. Or perhaps it's not that nice after all. Because it seems deploying the siege equipment is a bit difficult.
Siege tower. At the double. At the double. Units! Units! Double time! Siege tower. Hurry! Siege tower. Units! Fire at will! Siege tower. Quickly! Move to the wall! Siege tower! To the wall! Scale the walls! Scale the walls! Siege tower! To the walls! Siege tower! To the walls! Units!
So we might have a bit of difficulties getting through. Because the enemy defenses are clearly the same as in last battle, but our troops are... Perhaps we're actually inflicting some damage there.
Reach the walls. Now there will be
Yeah,
hard fighting to
nice.
break the
Oh.
defenses.
But our troops are most certainly weaker than in the last battle.
This is a step on the path to victory. The towers are at the walls.
Ladder! Heave the ladder!
Our ladders are in place, and our men are now attacking. Against courage, what use of walls? Great gods! Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken.
Okay, so we are starting to take towers. And of course it's really nice to have these principes here.
Missiles!
And that tower is ours, and here we have Hastati. I think we are okay for now. Let's give those velites and other troops time to get to the walls properly before moving them to engage. I'm a bit worried about those Samnite hoplites there. They might be able to just wreck our... What's this unit? Lucanian infantry. But I think for now the battle should be going rather okay for us. At least these principes have taken no casualties for now.
Missiles! Quickly! Infantry! Missiles!
Oh, are these actually pushing to the melee? They should be firing their missiles there. Okay. That was surprisingly efficient, to be honest. And then they can get out of the way. So I think we need to take care of that Lucanian infantry before we can actually take the gates. Okay, good. No need to fire anymore. And we can send this Hastati to help on the other side of the gateway. And let's get our troops moving inside. And let's be a bit careful if the enemy cavalry decides to move against us. So these guys can take the front and make sure that there won't be any nasty surprises. And if we can bring some triarii there, I think we can start pushing towards the city center. And let's actually put the triarii to the front after they catch their breath a bit. And I think we can bring in the Hastati here as well. And I don't think these villagers should be fighting here, so let's try to keep them out of it. Okay, and the triarii can lead the attack here, followed by this unit, followed by the Hastati, followed by the Velites, followed by the general, and I think the cavalry can start to make preparations for a flanking maneuver. Okay, and it's time to halt. And where are those? I'm not familiar enough with the unit images here. These javelins are actually proving to be surprisingly efficient here. Of course, if we can hit the general, it would be good. I think the generals actually, our bodyguard doesn't have 2 hit points in this, so the power of that unit has been curbed quite a bit. Which is good to keep in mind when we need to use our general's bodyguard in some rather dire situation. So will they react to this? Let's actually find out. If not... And what's this? Oh, we have 2 cavalry units. Whoops. So are they coming? Yeah, they are coming back. It seems since the actual fighting is taking quite long, that gaining control of the city center might be actually the best way to go to capture cities. Because the enemy morale, at least in this battle, has been quite high. For example, these Samnite hoplites are still eager while they are being surrounded, and they have fought for almost the whole battle. So yeah, so the Triary took quite a beating there. But at least we have one more city. Perhaps it will open up some new trade opportunities, which of course will be quite beneficial for us. So actually I was a bit pessimistic about the income amount here. Perhaps we could enslave the population, gain some more money, but now it's time to take the... This is just a horrible command. So I think Lucius Cornelius Scipii will be our leading general and will take the fight to Ancon next. And it seems the garrison there is a bit smaller than elsewhere. And this settlement here is looking rather good. A decent amount of trade, at the very least. So we are taking only 1600 losses per turn, so I think we will break even or even start making profits after we capture Messana. And actually I think we have a rebel settlement somewhere around here as well. So let's see about the overall map view. So okay, so it's taking a while to getting used to these remastered campaign settings. So let's check out the public order. Butuntum is clearly with the worst public order, and I guess there is one settlement here. And resources, I think. So these trade goods are important for determining the trade. So Rome is rather good for trade, so is Arpi. Those two. What about the farming levels? It seems they are rather equal in here. Okay, and mining. Apparently no mines. And let's check the last overlay here. Security. Okay. So, I think this is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching.
I salute you.
If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldGames out.